In recent developments of global scene to accommodate the fourth industrial revolution, everyone wants to catch up with the common flow of the society. Sometimes, in the middle of those pursuits, one can get discouraged and have negative emotions. How to achieve inner peace when life is always bustling? How to deal with one's negative emotions when there are still too many other problems to solve? These are the questions to which Inner Space Hanoi will bring answers. The course advisor is Miss Trish Summerfield, the author of the book Window to the South. She is an educator from New Zealand with more than 20 years of experience in education, research and practice in positive thinking. Greetings from Vietnam on VTC10 Viet. Society is developed, but people are getting more and more mental health problems. So how to deal with the mental health problems? In today's program, we have invited Madam Trish Summerfield, an educator from New Zealand. She has been working as the consultant for Inner Space Hanoi for about 20 years. So thank you for joining us. The first question we'd like to ask you is, how did you know about Inner Space Hanoi and why did you decide to cooperate with them?
You know, I always like to use my time in a worthwhile way, and I knew that they were offering courses to the community on a voluntary basis, so I offered myself to be a teacher on a regular basis, and of course they always like to have teachers, and so yes, we decided to cooperate together.
As far as I know, you have been working here in Vietnam for 20 years. So what is your opinion about the living condition in Vietnam and what impact does it have on the mental health of the Vietnamese people?
You know, I feel very concerned because I think a big thing that's happening now is over-information. People are waking up in the morning and they're reaching for their phones. They're sleeping, often sleeping with their phones. They're reaching for their phone and they're taking in information. They're feeding. So I feel that that environment of overexposure to information is fueling the mind into overthinking and creating a higher amount of negative emotions in people. And you know, once you create something, then you have to do something with it. So when you have all these negative emotions happening inside, you can't just make them go away. You know, they will influence your mind, they influence your heart. You have angry emotions, frustrated emotions, your heart's going to have a lot of pressure. So all of these things influence the body and mind.
Nowadays, the society is developed. In your opinion, why do people always have more and more mental health problems?
Physically, there is development, what we call development. There are better infrastructure, there are better facilities, technology is developed. So on that level, yes, absolutely, there's development. But if we look at the ability to manage our mind, if we look at the quality of thoughts that are flowing through the average mind on a daily basis, I would say I don't think there is development. Certainly in terms of emotional intelligence, the ability to manage our emotions in a positive way and understand the emotions of others, research is showing that ability is decreasing. So outwardly, yes, there's advancement. Inwardly, no. There are challenges and negative emotions being produced at a much higher frequency than any other time. So there's two things. Outwardly it's there, but inwardly people are facing a lot of challenging emotions.
Working with the Inner Space Hanoi for about 20 years, so in your opinion, what is the most valuable thing that Inner Space has done for the local community?
You know, I think what we've done is we have offered the local community courses that have helped them build their inner strength, because we're called Inner Space, so build their inner strengths and increase the quality of their relationships. I've had many examples, one of a lady that didn't talk to her sister for 20 years. She came to Inner Space, she studied a course on letting go, she went home and she made her sister dinner and now they're friends. So we have so many examples where people that had been in conflict before they studied here, after studying they could resolve that and they could have better quality of relationships. So I think that's something, because for everyone relationships are important, whether relationship with the self or others. So I feel we've supported people in building quality relationships with themselves and others.
With the desire to bring out the positive traits in each individual and to help everyone understand themselves better so that they could make positive changes, Inner Space Hanoi has organized many free courses for all participants.
Cảm giác là khi mà mình đến đây thì mình cảm thấy nó là một cái ngôi nhà rất là đầm ấm ý. Cảm giác khi mình đến thì mọi những cái phiền muộn, những cái lo lắng đều gạt bên ngoài hết. Và đến đây thì mình học được nhiều kỹ năng mới giúp cho bản thân mình trở nên tốt hơn, giảm bớt những cái áp lực cuộc sống. Cảm thấy mình nhẹ nhàng hơn, nhìn đón nhận mọi thứ một cách dễ dàng hơn.
Từ lúc thành lập cho đến giờ thì trung tâm chủ trương làm sao để phổ biến cho cộng đồng những kiến thức để mọi người có thể hiểu được rõ về những ưu thế, những thế mạnh và những đức tính tốt đẹp của bản thân và những phẩm chất tốt đẹp và cũng như những tài năng giá trị của bản thân, để mỗi một người có thể phát huy những thế mạnh của mình và thay đổi, làm cho chất lượng cuộc sống của mình tốt đẹp hơn, và như vậy sẽ nâng cao chất lượng cuộc sống của cả cộng đồng.
Trước khi mà mình tham dự các khóa học của trung tâm thì đã có những cái giai đoạn mà mình trải qua trong cuộc sống mình cảm thấy rất căng thẳng, và mình đọc rất nhiều sách, mình tìm xem là nguyên nhân tại sao mình lại thấy căng thẳng, rồi mình làm những điều nhưng mà mình cảm thấy cái tình trạng căng thẳng của mình nó không suy giảm. Nhưng mà sau đấy là mình được một người bạn giới thiệu đến trung tâm Inner Space để tham dự các khóa học, và khi mà ngay từ lần đầu tiên mà mình đến trung tâm Inner Space thì bầu không khí mình cảm thấy là vô cùng bình an. Và rồi khi mà tham dự các lớp học, rồi đọc các cuốn sách ở đây, và mình thấy là những cái kiến thức đấy chính là những cái mà mình thật sự mình đang cần, và mình đang đi tìm kiếm nó. Dần dần khi mà áp dụng những cái điều mà mình học tại trung tâm, mình thấy cuộc sống của mình thay đổi, thì mình muốn là gắn bó, tức là dành thời gian của mình làm các công việc hỗ trợ cho trung tâm.
Inner Space Hanoi attracts not only young people but also people of older ages.
Mình phải thay đổi từ bản thân mình thì người khác nhìn thấy là công nhận là mẹ mình hoặc là vợ mình hoặc là chị mình hoặc là cô mình hay là ai đấy trong gia đình là đi học có lợi ích thực sự, mang lại lợi ích cho gia đình. Thứ nhất là hòa thuận, vui vẻ, và có những cách, có khi có những lúc là dàn xếp được công việc rất là lớn trong gia đình.
This course doesn't aim to give students textbooks information. Instead, in class, they will share with each other their experiences in facing life's many difficulties. From there, no matter who you are or which trials you face, with positive thinking, we can always overcome. In your opinion, which one is easier and more effective, controlling ourselves or trying to change the circumstances?
So, very often when we talk about circumstances, we are talking about people. And there is that tendency to focus on trying to change people. But have you ever been able to successfully change someone?
I'm not sure.
I think most people would answer the same way. It's really hard to change others. Yet oftentimes that's where our attention is directed, to change people. And it can leave us feeling very, very frustrated. So yes, it's good to look at the circumstance, how I can influence it. But most importantly, I would say focus on strengthening the self, or changing the self, building the self.
On this occasion, do you have any advice you'd like to share with the Vietnamese people and help them quickly overcome the mental health problems?
When you're starting to feel a strong negative emotion like fear or worry, anger, anxiety, at that time, start with your breathing. Take a very deep breath, fill your lungs with air, and instead of being critical to yourself, even, just support yourself. Say it's okay. Talk to yourself, because often when we have negative emotions, we're very hard on ourselves. So be gentle, even physically rub your hand or arm to relax yourself. After you've done that, I suggest just listen to yourself. So you're feeling anger, so you're feeling stress. Just start a positive conversation with yourself to calm yourself down. So you're not suppressing the emotion, you're listening to it, and as you do that, the pressure of that emotion will reduce. And then you want to move into, after you listen to yourself, move into being able to understand. Ask yourself, where is this really coming from? What's really happening here? Because often we have the tendency to focus on the environment. But if we go beyond that, often we will find inside ourselves, perhaps we were expecting too much from a situation, or perhaps we were holding resentment to it, or perhaps we had fear. So if we ask ourselves what's underneath our emotion, often we can learn a lot about ourselves and learn, the area that we need to build our understanding in.
In your opinion, what is the most important part when dealing and controlling the negative emotions?
I think there's a few things that are really important. One thing is, when we are experiencing a negative emotion, it's not good for us to suppress it. If you suppress it, you try and push that emotion down, that can cause you a lot of tension in your stomach. If you suppress it over time, it can lead to depression. But then if you express it, you can make other people feel unhappy or depressed, right? So suppressing is not good. Expressing is also not good, right? So we understand that it's much more effective to calmly deal with it, to deal with it with wisdom and understanding. So for me, I think nowadays we can't just try and push it away. It doesn't work. Suppress it doesn't work. Express it is a problem. And if we keep expressing it, it will become a habit, right? So, and I know some people feel, oh, let's express it if we don't suppress it, but then it becomes a habit to react and express it in that way. So for me, the most effective tool is understanding, to see and accept that emotion I'm having with wisdom and understanding, and gently transform it. The thing is, there are always situations, there are always events, but every event, I add something to it that creates an outcome. So every event, or as you're saying, external situation, I add something that will determine how I feel, how I respond. I add my response to it, right? So that is totally determined by me. And that's why in any one situation, we will all respond differently, and that will give a different outcome. And so we feel the most important thing is to accept the situation, focus on responding in a very high quality way that will give a positive outcome.
Once again, thank you for joining us and for your meaningful sharings today. And that's all we have for this episode of GIviện Nam today. For comment and feedback, don't hesitate to write to us at GIvietnam@netvietTV.net. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.